Okay. I don't know what happened. I scheduled a live and I don't know why it didn't I couldn't figure out how to join that. So I don't know if anyone's here, but I'm going to do the live this way and go from there. Oh shoot, I just picked some up that spilled. Sorry about that. All right. So, what do we want to talk about today? If anyone comes, we can talk about something more specific, but what I wanted to really address today was the fact that we have a new moon solar eclipse and this is the Chinese New Year. So, let me pull out my geeky chart. All right. Oops, go over this way. This is what I put for the month of February. And I have listed this on my posts. So today we have the Eight of Swords, which is interference. It is mental blocks. It's a frustrating energy, right? But we have a new moon solar eclipse in Aquarius, and that is all about breaking out of these patterns, right? So the mental blocks are what we're feeling. The mental blocks are the things that we're resisting, the things that we're not sure we want to deal with. And Aquarius says, well, what about this? What about that? Aquarians are very open. We tend to think of all sorts of different things. Oh, my hair is going crazy. And our minds are very active. We're going all over the place, right? And a new moon, it's about beginnings, new ideas, being receptive to new thoughts. So that is the energy that we're having. So you combine that with the Eight of Swords. Let me see if I can find the card, which is interference. And it's about breaking through those mental blocks. So the opening of the mind to new possibilities, to new ideas. So this is the card that I'm referring to. All right, and this is ruled by Jupiter, a planet of luck and opportunity, in Gemini, which is a another air sign. It's about your brain kind of going, what about this? What about that? Thinking all over the place, right? So that is what we have with the energy today. Now, add to that today is also the beginning of the Chinese New Year. We are going from the wood snake to the fire horse. So every Chinese New Year, you have an animal, which in this case is the horse. Uh, Last year was the snake. Okay, the snake is about transformation. The horse is about acting and moving forward and add effects using hand gestures. I don't care about that. Hold on. I'm going to shut this little announcement. Okay. So the horse is about the individual moving ahead. The snake is more about the community, the area around, as well as the individual. And wood is a tough, hard element. So that's about shedding those things that we really don't want to deal with. Okay. So that's what we've had this past year. And for some of us, we have had a difficult year. I had a situation where my economy, my earnings just dropped. I'm a graphic designer and I found that AI kind of killed my design business. So I had to come up with other ways of making a living. And that's what brings me here. I'm not earning money and I'm not trying to earn money right now, but it's a new direction. And that embracing of that new direction is what led me to this big change that I'm going to do this summer, which is I'm moving from the United States to Spain. So just embracing this path, this openness led me to something that led me to something else. Okay. But what I spent a lot of last year doing was resisting it. So while I was resisting it, things got more and more difficult. Things got more and more tense. And I was super frustrated. And then I started allowing myself to consider things, to consider, well, what if I did this? What if I did that? Because again, this was all around money initially. How do I cover my expenses? And I resisted the tarot because I was like, well, I don't really see how to make money on it. I don't know if I want to do that. There were some concerns with, I don't know if you'd want to say ethics, but just sort of the idea of charging for a spiritual practice. Usually you try to do it as a donation. So I was concerned about all these things. But then finally I was like, okay, I got to try something. You don't know where it's going to lead. Just do it. Well, embracing that path allowed me to realize that I what the dream was not in this country for me personally. So I finally saw what where I needed to be, what I needed to manifest. So I haven't made money off of the tarot, but the tarot has benefited me. So we had by being open, it allows the universe to shift our the energy in ways that we cannot predict. The other thing is now we're going into the fire horse. So we're going from a hard fixed element to a fire, which is energy, action, moving things ahead. So combine that fire horse, we have this big catapult of energy. The danger with the fire horse is that you can become too arrogant and too self-involved to make it so you are overriding the needs of the community. But well managed, it means that you finally have the energy to push your dreams ahead. So it's very exciting energy when you look at it that way. And now we got to combine this with this new moon solar eclipse, which is another pow. So that's what's the energy today. And even though I haven't had anyone participating, I hope that you will consider that if you are dealing with stress or if you're dealing with negativity, with feeling like you're getting more and more boxed in, instead of being frustrated by the lack, recognize that maybe what's happening is that you're being pushed to shift into a new direction. Because once I did that, once I recognized that I needed to do something different, I've tried all sorts of things. I've been doing the tarot, I teach crafting classes, I still do some of the other design work that I do. I do all these different things. And some of them have benefited me in ways that are very unexpected. Sometimes it's a benefit through a connection, sometimes it's financial, sometimes it's just running into something, being aware of something through someone else that leads like they're all like little nudges to go along your path. So as you move forward, consider that. Consider how you may be guided and not aware of it. Consider the things that happen, who runs out into your path, who makes a point of connecting to you, what signs you see repeatedly. That's usually the universe trying to say, hey, consider this, or I can help you out, but you're going to have to do this or that, because great change does require great sacrifice. And so in my case, I am going to be leaving the United States and moving to southern Spain. Sounds fantastic for most people, and it will be once I'm settled. But before I get settled, I have to go through a lot. I have to sell my house, I have to downsize stuff. It's emotionally draining, it's physically exhausting, it's complicated, it's time consuming, it's a lot of things. And not everyone is willing to make the changes for the things that they want. Now, obviously, this is my journey, and so I have these particular tasks, but for someone else, it might be getting a second job, changing your job, changing your relationship, whatever it is that you are holding and back, and you're like, well, I could, except for that's what you have to look at. How can you shift things? What are you resisting? And that's as long as you're open to change, change will happen, but you have to be willing to accept it. If I got the first inkling of moving to Spain and I said, yeah, but the only way I'll do it is if I don't sell my house. Well, realistically, I don't have the money to do it without selling my house, right? So the universe would be like, well, you want to be too comfortable because it's an ego thing, right? The universe does not support us when we are in our ego. So if I was saying that because I don't want to sell my house because I want to hold on to it, it won't work. If there was another reason why it was really important, I didn't. But since that isn't, then it's just a resistance of ego. That's when you have to be willing to shift to achieve the things you want. So I know no one is watching me right now, but I'm hoping that I will get to share these videos later on. So next time, maybe I will have an audience. So over and out. And oh wait, I forget I don't have a touch screen.